Hey, crypto family. So today we're going to go over the market, some Bitcoin analysis, and some Bakkt news about the date on their Bitcoin futures and why that there may be some bigger news than that. So with that, let's go and get started. So looking at the market today, we're at about 209 billion. Again, we've been in a sideways movement for the past couple of days. Bitcoin's down 0.23% to $6,481. Ethereum's down 0.28%. Again, most of these altcoins are down less than 1% today. You have Tether slowly rising back up. It's at 98.5 cents, trying to get back to that dollar that it was at after the plunge that it had. But again, not really too much going on with altcoins. A few like Decred are up 21% because Binance actually just tweeted out that they're going to list Decred in 2 days. So that's why that's up. But again, most of the altcoins aren't really doing too much today. Now, looking at Bitcoin here, this is the inverse swap on BitMEX, and this doesn't take into account Tether, so that's why I like using this better. Now, Bitcoin's at $6,404. This is the 4-hour chart. And you can see here, multiple times it tried to cross over this 128-day moving average, and it failed to close above it. So I see this 128-day moving average as strong resistance. That's at around that 64.50 level right now, and the support is about 63.50. So you can see it's been staying in this range for at least the past 6 days. So I'm thinking, if we break down out of this support here, 63.50, then we're going to come down to the next support of 62.50, where you can see here it bounced off a couple times. And then if we break below that, then I believe we're looking at least 6,100 or below. So right now the RSI is not really overbought or oversold, kind of in the middle at 50. If we look at the 12-hour chart here, we can see as well that the 50-day moving average is providing some resistance, and that is, again, about 64.50. So there is a lot of resistance right now. Bitcoin doesn't look like it wants to move up. Now, another thing to mention is I know everyone talks about the Bart-Simpson algorithm. Basically, that's when we make sharp moves downwards, consolidate, and then sharp moves upwards, consolidate, and then a sharp move downwards, and that continues. Now, there was a lot of that going on a couple months ago with algo trading, which is basically computer-based algorithms that trade based on price action, etc. And that was an algorithm that seems to be continuing. It stopped for a couple months, and now it looks like we may continue that again if we do have a sharp decline. So again, just looking at these levels, if Bitcoin does break above this 64.50 level, then again we're looking at this 200-day moving average at about 6,500. And then, of course, this 6,800, which has provided resistance. I've circled 3 times where we have failed to close above that. So those are the resistance levels. These are the support levels. So again, be patient with trading. Don't try to rush anything because, Bitcoin's going to make a move one way or the other. And I'm sure it's going to be in the next couple of days. So with that, let's go and get into our first article. So this article by Coinbase, and it says Bitcoin futures could go live on ICE's crypto trading platform in December. So as you know, Bakkt has been a huge talking point the past couple of weeks, and basically Bakkt is owned by ICE, which is the Intercontinental Exchange. It's one of the exchanges that work with the New York Stock Exchange, so it's reputable. It's one of the things we want if we want investor confidence into cryptocurrencies. And it says the Intercontinental Exchange's upcoming cryptocurrency trading platform Bakkt will officially launch on December 12th, pending regulatory approval. And they announced this Monday. And it says they could begin officially or offering physically settled Bitcoin future contracts in December, marking the first cryptocurrency related offering provided through the new platform. So again, they're adopting cryptocurrencies now, and this gives it another form of legitimacy with cryptos and actual stock exchanges. So it's great to see that, they are going to be having these Bitcoin futures implemented December 12th. And one of the things I like, which sets them apart from like the CBOE futures and CME futures, is it says each futures contract calls for delivery of 1 Bitcoin held in the Bakkt digital asset warehouse and will trade in US dollar terms. And what that actually means is they actually have Bitcoin that they have bought and they are holding in their warehouse. So it doesn't necessarily have to be cash settled like the CBOE and CME futures. It can be settled in Bitcoin where the customer would actually receive actual Bitcoin. So that's one more thing kind of that is, sets Bakkt apart from other exchanges. So I thought this was a great talking point. And it said at the time, the exchange also noted it would offer a one-day Bitcoin futures contract, meaning clients can cash their futures products out to receive Bitcoin rather than cash. So again, this is a huge, huge deal. And I think it'll add another layer of, a different variety than, the normal futures contract. So it may have a different effect than the one where we're used to with Bitcoin futures initially rising and then falling. This new system may actually have some positive effect on Bitcoin. And it says the exchange was initially expected to launch in November, pending approval by the CFTC. No reason was immediately given for the delay through December. So I'm assuming they're coming through some, regulatory problems right now. Again, this is a big deal. They are part of the New York Stock Exchange, and this is just, it's not easy to introduce cryptocurrencies because they're still new. So I'm sure it's just a lot of regulatory issues. That's why they have been delayed. But again, a lot of people are looking at this as another step towards getting a Bitcoin ETF approval. So definitely something I'm excited about and something that could lead the bullish run as we get closer to the end of November and beginning of December. Now, with that said, that may not necessarily be the biggest news of this year. And there's an article by Bitcoin Exchange Guide. It says, One Alpha CEO, Fidelity Digital Assets announcement even bigger than ICE's Bakkt for Bitcoin. So if you remember, Fidelity made an announcement, I believe it was at least a week ago, if not 2 weeks ago. And it said Fidelity Investments is the third largest asset management firm in the world. This year, the company introduced Fidelity Digital Assets. As the name suggests, this new venture will mainly deal with cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin. Primarily, it's to make such assets available to institutional investors. The platform is expected to go live Q1 2019. Now, why this is so big is because Fidelity is a huge, huge company dealing in trillions of dollars in assets, whether it's 401ks, retirement funds, different investments. Mutual funds, bonds, anything you can think of, they deal with that. And for their clients, even if they put 1% of their clients put money into Bitcoin, that is a huge amount of cash to be put into Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. So I believe, this adds legitimacy to cryptocurrencies. And I think this is definitely some big news, and one that I think a lot of people kind of overlooked because it's not that ETF everyone's looking for, but it is still gaining access for those institutional investors. And one of the biggest things that I liked about this article, he said that talking about the role of Fidelity Digital Assets, he said the platform will execute trade orders for institutions on crypto exchanges coupled with consultancy services for the institutions. Moreover, the company will train companies that are delving into the crypto space for the first time. So again, let's read that again. They will execute trade orders for institutions on crypto exchanges. Now, if that's not big, I don't know what is, because that essentially means that Fidelity will, buy Bitcoin on crypto exchanges. So they aren't, it looks like from this article that they aren't doing over-the-counter trading. It's actual crypto exchanges. Now, that's a huge deal if it's true. And, you have all that buy volume going through exchanges, and that's going to create, we think the Tether pump is big right now. This is going to freaking surpass it like no other. So I think that this is great news. And again, you also have other companies like TD Ameritrade, which they're launching their Eris X, and that'll launch in Q2 2019. So you have Bakkt coming out in December. You have Fidelity Digital Assets launching Q1 2019. You have TD Ameritrade Eris X launching in Q2 2019. So I believe that we are set to see probably a little Bitcoin drop here. I'm assuming we'll see another drop. And then, once we hit 6,000, 5,800, maybe even a tad lower than that, then we could see a bounce and start the rally from there. Because, there's a ton of good news coming out towards the end of the year, beginning of next year, that it makes me think that these low prices aren't going to stay this low for much longer. So again, just my opinion, not financial advice, but I believe we're definitely on the brink of having another breakout for Bitcoin. So with that, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, comment if you have any questions, and please subscribe if you haven't. Try to provide quality content as much as I can and keep you all updated. So with that, thanks for watching. Till next time.